Hello, hello, hello. I am really praying that this gets out. Here we go. Yep, good. All right, hello everyone. We're gonna let a few more people kind of join, hopefully here soon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Equinox. It is about to happen. It's about to go down. Here in about 3 hours, a little over 3 hours from now, the equinox will officially have happened. It is about to go down. So again, we're going to let these go out. For those of you that are just joining, my name is Lisa, and this is Heart of Inspiration. And here at this channel, we help you lead a whole and healed, peaceful and prosperous life, and also to learn to live life in spirit. And this is a very, very, very special equinox. A very special equinox, a very special message that I basically have been receiving for the last few days. As many of you know, right, so this is especially for Lightworkers and Light Warriors and Starseeds. As many of you know, I've been on here for a while, for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years here shortly. And 2 years ago, I never would have imagined that we would be where we're at right now. I just knew that it was time to come out and to speak and to teach and to help people like me, so people like you, to ascend. It was time to help. It was time to heal. It was time to grow. And that's the journey we've been on. And we're here now at this equinox of 2020. It's a very special equinox. I want to be sure that I've got the chart up. Because there's a lot, and we're about to get into this. So we're going to talk some astrology. We're going to talk some numerology. We're going to talk just general energy. This is a rebirth. This is the dawning of the rebirth. This is the dawning of us as light beings, the dawning of us coming into who we are and remembering who we are, remembering why we came here, remembering what our stated purpose was, remembering what the stated plan was, remembering. And let me go here. I want to pop the chat out so I can see. So while we're letting people come out and into the room, because I want people to come on in the room, right? I want y'all to come on in the room while we're doing that. So this is very, I typically hadn't gotten into, hi Tiffany, I hadn't gotten into all this equinox stuff before. You know, I was into the church, and so we didn't really talk about it. And, but we always knew that the springtime meant something, right? That it meant a lot. And I believe, I haven't checked this, but I believe this is also very close to Passover, which is, again, this rebirth time. And in fact, if somebody can look it up and see when Passover 2020 is, and put the dates in the chat for me, that would be amazing. Hey, Fit Goddess. Hey, Mel. Hey, Janae. I would really love that, because that in and of itself is a whole another level of just confirmation of this being a rebirth. So I want to start this off by stating a few facts. We're going to go up. We're going to look at let's look at the chart real quick for the equinox. Now, this chart here, let me get my pen. And let me make this a little thinner. Oh, it is thin. That's good. I'm going to leave this as green. Okay, for all of us. Welcome to everybody in the room. This is epic. This is interesting. This is very interesting. I just did another live for the 20th, and the Pars of Fortune for the moon was up in Taurus. The Pars of Fortune for the sun is here at 0 degrees Capricorn. For those of you that don't know what the Pars of Fortune is, that's this little jobby right here. And that is it's a calculation in astrology, and that's kind of when you're at your most abundant. And I find it very interesting that the Pars of Fortune for the sun for the equinox is at 0 degrees Capricorn, where we have a ton of activity going on in Capricorn right now. We have a ton of activity happening. And that tells me that that's really where we're finding the most abundance in this time. So let's talk about, okay, where are we at? Thursday, it begins Wednesday, April 8th. Okay, thank you very much. All right, that helps. All right, let's talk about this now. Let's talk about this chart. So, equinox, as we speak right now, at the time of this recording, of this broadcast, hey Sharon, Jupiter and Mars are directly conjunct, and Pluto is within a degree of them both. Let me undo that. Jupiter and Mars are directly conjunct, and I'm just going to circle this whole thing because Saturn does play a huge role in this. Saturn looks like on the chart that it's actually in Aquarius. It's not. It is, at the time of the equinox, 29 degrees, 44 minutes. 29 degrees, 44 minutes. It's almost there, but it ain't quite going there yet. It won't be officially into Aries at 0 degrees, Aquarius, until Saturday, March 21st. Hey, David. So Mars and Jupiter conjunct in Capricorn, and basically we're going to call it conjunct to Pluto as well because it's within a degree. And the outer planets, we give them a more of an 8-degree orb. So we might as well say that all 4 of these planets are conjunct because they're all within 8 degrees of each other. 5, yep, just barely. Mars and Jupiter, Pluto and Saturn, all conjunct in Capricorn. Personal transformation, fiery, personal, Aries, ruled by Mars, your person. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is that, like, let's be like really big and have great big ideas and great big motivations, and let's get everybody together and we can all do this together. Like, let me ignite the passion, right? Sagittarians are great for igniting passion and bringing joy, right? Joy and pain, right? Okay. Anyway, if y'all were on the last broadcast, I told you I had no idea what the playlist was going to be for this broadcast here. So anything could come out of this jukebox that's in my head. Okay. So here we have this like personal activation, and Jupiter is about achievements, big goals, big dreams, big all of this, right? Big, 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 big. Expansion, about expanding our territory. Expanding our territory. That's going to be very important for us to understand. Pluto, personal transformation. Pluto, not only, it rules Scorpio, and so the symbols, right, for Scorpio, right, the animal symbols are a scorpion, the eagle and the phoenix. We're going to stress the eagle and the phoenix though, because this isn't about stinging right now. This is about rising above. This is about soaring. This is about transformation and transmutation of energy. Your own personal energy, who you are, and allowing your spiritual energy to rise and take control, to take its proper place in the triad, in your triune being of who you are. Spirit, energy, mind, and body. As it is above, so it is below. Spirit is higher dimensional. Spirit is higher energy. Spirit is higher octave. Yes? So, that should be the portion of you that is in control of how you move in this third dimensional realm, how you move your avatar, your game piece on the playing field, on the board. Too often though, and for very often, right, and for a lot of people, the mind has been the one in control. So all you've had the ability to do up until the point you become awakened, is you've only had the ability to see the present, which at the moment that you realize what the present is, that moment has already passed. So it is in essence already the past. So you've only really had the present and the past to identify and decide what your next move on the board is going to be. You only rely upon past memory, past emotion, past responses to said emotion, right? That's all you've been doing until you become awakened. Once you become awakened, you recognize that those things in the past are dead and gone. And we have to decide to release the energy that is pent up then within our physical being. This is going to be a deep conversation, so I need y'all to buckle up and get ready. When we have past energetic trauma, hurt, pain, what have you, that energy gets trapped in our cells and it gets burned into our memory banks. Our mind is a fantastic recorder. It records all sound. It records all words. It records all sight. It records all feelings. It records all situations. Okay? Big and small. It records them all. Okay? So all of that's recorded, that energy gets trapped in our being. And so when we do our shadow work, that's really for us to integrate, take this energy, release it from our cells, release the cellular memory, and transmutate it. Take responsibility for it, gain the ability to have a different response to it. Take accountability for it, take the ability back to redress and realign ourselves on what we think about the account of what happened. Decide that we're not going to allow the account of what happened and our response to the account of what happened to now dictate what we do in the future. That can only happen, though, when we become awakened, at least to somewhat. At least to a portion, at least a little bit. We're kind of groggy. Why is that? Because it takes your spirit to be able to go backwards and forwards that is not confined by time, fourth dimension, or space, third dimension. It is energy. It can see in the past and it can see in the future. It knows time, neither time nor space. It can go back and you decide then, I wish to change how I respond to these triggers or these instances in the future. Why am I going over this right now in such great detail? Because those 4 planets that you see down there, those 4 planets have got that green circle around down there. Those 4 planets are a recipe for burning down to ashes all of the Saturn karmic lessons, past lessons we've learned, burning them down and restructuring them so now they're expansive, Mars and Jupiter, so we take personal responsibility for our personal expansion and our personal transformation into the higher being we truly are. And we plant that seed in the cardinal earth. We plant that seed in the 3rd dimensional realm in a cardinal way. So we are restarting. We are planting new seeds into the earth that will bloom and blossom, powers of fortune, at the beginning of Capricorn. And Saturn is at its most potent position in its sign. Right before it leaves, it's like, I've got a few last things. I've got to hit you hard. I've got a few last things. These are some things we need to clear. These are some things we need to change. These are some lessons I need you to get right now so that you can go forth and prosper. So you can live long and prosper. Do you understand? Now, equinox time in just a few hours. We also have the moon in Aquarius. Our emotions are focused, or should be focused, on higher thought, on God thought. What is Aquarius? Aquarius is ruled by Uranus over here in Taurus. Trining this energy. Yes? Along with Venus. We're supposed to be having a higher thought. We're being challenged. We're being challenged to have the higher thought, the higher emotion, the higher feeling, higher energy in regard to the collective. Understand that you as an individual are part of the collective. There is collective higher God, universe, creator thought. Zero degrees is also the birth of formal hot Archangel Gabriel. The great messenger. Archangel Gabriel, the great messenger. Oh boy. I told y'all. So we don't become what went through. We'll talk about that in a minute. I told y'all this is going to be deep. Are you going to be your own great messenger? Are you going to decide to give your message, your great message, to the world? Are you going to rebirth yourself into the higher being that you truly are? Are you going to do that? Uranus and Venus in Taurus right now are also raising our personal octave up, changing and transforming who we are at the individual godlike level, at the individual divine being level. Because we are individually divine. We are divine from the divine. We are divine beings of the divine. We came from Creator. We came from Source. We came from the highest. Yes, Source energy. And as energetic beings, we are a piece of them. Yes. So we have a higher octave we are to resonate at, each and every one of us. A higher octave we are to resonate at. Higher octaves. Personal. Venus is personal, like personal money. Taurus is personal money. How we earn money, how we live our daily lives. All of that foundation, that fixed earth. How we move in our daily lives. And what these placements are saying is this. Guess what, folks? How you move in your daily life can no longer be just based on your third dimensional self. How you move, Lightworker, Lightwarrior, Starseed, Indigo, how you move in your daily life, rebirth, get reborn, and come up here. This is like judgment card for me. Like, get reborn and come up. And stop being down here. Because the only way we truly transform and we truly do our duty on this earth, what we signed up for, what we said we were going to do, what our purpose is, the only way we do that is if we allow ourselves to elevate and resonate at our higher frequencies, and we have to move about the cabin with dual citizenship, with dual living a spirit-led life. I talk about this all the time. Spirit-led life while still having a third dimensional experience. It is truly possible. Myself and many others are perfect examples of that. Living a spirit-led life while having a third dimensional experience. However, as we're moving into this new age, because this is another 30-year cycle that we're starting, right? Because Saturn takes 30 years to get around the sun. So the next portion of that 30-year cycle is this concept of higher existence. We'll talk about the practicalities in a moment. Well, yeah, you deep cleaned your whole house today. Because we got to settle in, and we're going to talk about why we've been deep cleaning and nesting. What you've been doing is nesting. Mothers, what did we do a few days before we gave birth? Maybe even up to a week. We nested. We got everything together. We made sure the crib was together. We made sure the bottles were there. We made sure the diapers were there. We made sure we had something to bring the baby home in. We made sure we had clothes for the newborn, right? We made sure of all these things. We probably cooked a bunch of food and put it up so that people wouldn't starve while we were gone, for the day or two we gone. Like, we gonna starve. You know what I'm saying? Like, we nested. And we saved our energy. So if you all have been running around cleaning a lot lately and trying to, that's another reason why we're in this situation we're in right now. And we're going to get there in just a minute. This is the Equinox chart we're reviewing right now. I want to go to the astrology, and then we're going to come back to the rest of the channel message. Now, let's also see this. Mercury approaching Neptune again in Pisces. It's been back in Aquarius. It went retrograde, stayed there for a hot second, longer than a hot second, but it's hung out there. Why did Mercury hang out in Aquarius energetically? It needed to go back and gather some more information to give to us. Any of you all have, if you all have potentially noticed that perhaps your ears are ringing more than before? Have y'all ears been ringing like nobody's business the last few days? Like nonstop? Or you've been experiencing more of that, those awakening symptoms of like fatigue and all of that kind of stuff. Y'all been noticing that? Because I've been noticing it. Like literally, it's just been like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs a little bit. It's a lot of information. So Mercury went back and got a little bit more than information of the higher collective God thought. Gathered up some more messages. And now he's come back in to Aquarius, to Pisces, and is approaching Neptune, the deep spiritualist, the high priestess, and the moon, the keeper of the deep secrets, the keeper of the Akashic record, the keeper of all of those memories, all of the wisdom and knowledge and spiritual abilities, gifts, capabilities, operations throughout the ages. The 12th house, the holder of all. Also, the karmic house. There's karma that's being repaid. We're here to help ease it. It still has to be repaid. We're here to help provide some cover for it, but it still has to be repaid. So went back there, gathered up this information and said, okay, now I've got to broadcast it to my spiritual ones. Yes? The universe source is saying, I got to broadcast this to my spiritual ones to wake y'all up. I have to bring y'all up a little bit higher because you have a lot of work to do. Both yourself personally, so that you can come forward from the ashes as higher beings, so we can help the ones that are going to come after. Because as the sun moves from the equinox and goes here to Chiron and Lilith, this is when we're going to see a lot of the personal hurt, angst, pain, the beginning of it. For a lot of individuals, for this planet, we're going to begin to see that happen. And people are going to wonder what in the world is going. They're already wondering what in the world's going on. But now it's going to hit them in a place that they never expected for it to hit. Now they're going to see things that they never thought that they were seeing. Now they're going to see how there's certain entities and powers in this world that have been injuring and keeping the wool over people's eyes and not telling them the truth. Keeping life-saving cures, hurting our children, hurting our women. The divine feminine is not happy, but she's ready to come into balance because we're about to be giving birth. Right? We're being reborn, and we're helping to bring in the movement. We're helping to bring in the ascension. We're helping to bring in the awakening. And everything that can get changed, that needs to be changed, will. This is a tower moment. This is a tower moment for the earth. That's why you've got Uranus in Taurus right now. Venus is there to help ease. But that's also at the descendant according to the perspective of the equinox. It's also at a galactic descendant. Our past, where we could be injured, that personal, that's where you can really get me at, right? Now, that says to me also, on a global scale, there's going to be a lot of changes globally. Economic, structural, potentially governmental, with all of that going on in Capricorn. Hidden governmental changes. Hidden changes. That's all happening in a third house scenario from the perspective of the equinox, if you notice down there. with Capricorn really ruling that house because it began in there. And so we've got Capricorn and Aquarius in this third house down here. I want you to see that. Right? What do we, when we think about third house energy, right? Your intellect, thought, right? Intellect. This also tells me, in accordance with Uranus, this is a quick change. So I would expect that we're going to see economic bases change. We're already seeing some of that. I would expect to see that how, of course, we're already in this zone where we already know things are never going to be the same. So how we do business is going to be different. Money is going to be different. Manufacturing is going to be different. And there has to be an upheaval of some very powerful religious entities, religious groups, denominations, if you will. You're going to see all of this change because now this has to become very much more personal relationship with Creator, as opposed to I have to go to some edifice in order to reach Creator. That's not how this was originally supposed to be. We can go back to biblical text if you wish. If you remember, those of you that are students of the Bible, if you remember, the in the book of First Kings, Israel was hollering for a king. We want a king just like everybody else. Before then, there had only been judges that had ruled over, and really it was God. The judges and the priesthood ruled over Israel. And in First Kings, when Saul became king, Israel wanted a king. We want one, everybody else got one. And God was like, well, I just want to deal with you through my prophets and through the judges. Like, really through my prophets. Really, the whole way this was supposed to happen was that through the prophetic speech or through the spiritually ascended, the light worker, if you will, the light warrior, the ascended ones, that was how the global information was to get to the people. And then, but the people were supposed to be seeking after a personal relationship with Creator. This is why there is a concept of a Christ consciousness. And that messianic consciousness is throughout other religions, and we've talked about that. But to understand that all of this personal stuff happening down here in Capricorn, which is said to be the sign of Jesus, perhaps. I personally believe it's more Virgo, but we'll go along with it. This is so this personal relationship can be reunited. This is so this personal conduit can happen again. This is the opening of that channel. There will still be some of us that channel these messages for a global reach or a territory reach, whatever you want to call it. But the relationship between Creator and creation, between source energy and the satellite energies, that opening has to reoccur. Things have to get back in the correct order. And those that have been pulling the strings from behind the scenes, it's time for them to pay the piper. Because they have injured and disrespected Creator and creation. All right. Let me get it back over here. All right, let's go a little deeper, guys. We're going to continue to go deeper. Okay, ears started. Those of you with ears ringing and muscles twitching and all of that, we'll take care of that during the meditation. Okay, because we gotta like do a little balancing. Yes, it really set things off. They did get a Trash King Solarize. You're exactly right. They did. And so we as humanity have allowed people to rule us from behind the scenes and take our power away from us and been lulled to sleep. That's why it's called awakening, guys, because we've been lulled to sleep. You're not crazy at all. Hey, Sunny Disposition. All right, let's talk about the numerological significance of where we're at and what's going on. So the spring equinox of 2020, it is the earliest spring equinox for the last 124 years. So the last time we had an equinox this early was back in 1896. In 1896, the Spanish-American War ended. The reason why I put that in there, because someone very eloquently said in the last Rona video I did, it's on the channel, that Corona is Spanish for crown. So they're trying to put a virus in our crown. And in a lot of people's crowns that are being ruled by fear, that's exactly what's happened. William McKinley here in the U.S. was elected to president in 1896. Now, the reason why that's significant is because that showed a shift with the party he was with, which was the Republican Party, to being aligned with businessmen, farmers, labor, more the wealthy. It realigned the parties. That's when that happened. It changed things. Things switched. And we'll talk about what's happening today because things are switching back. The first car was driven on the street in 1896. The method of transportation and how we got from one place to another was changed. What carried our third dimensional being changed. The first modern Olympics was held in Athens, Greece. This Olympics, we don't even know what's happening with it. So the globe came together again in a modern way in 1896. Now the globe is splitting back up so it can be restructured in the proper way without some centralized economic, socioeconomic, religious economic, spiritual economic system, aka the Matrix, aka the simulation, aka all y'all is Neo. Wake up. Anyway, channeling my inner Dolo. Now we're going back so we can come together energetically and not have puppet strings being pulled. Here in the U.S., there was a Supreme Court decision upheld separate but equal. It was held to be Plessy versus Ferguson. Constitutionally, it was upheld. Why is that important, Lisa? Because 124 years ago, and we'll get into the numerology about that in a minute, in 1896, and we'll get into numerology for that too, the powers that be decided that people that look like me and a lot of you could be separated and yet equal. There's karma that has to be paid for that. There's karma that has to be paid for that. There's karma that has to be paid for holding down a whole group of humanity. In 1896, the first X-ray machine was developed. The first methodology we had to see the unseen within us through energy, through radiation, through energy. Energetically, we were then able to see what was inside through the first X-ray. Telephone companies, the first monopoly of the telephone company of how we communicate to one another was created in 1896. However, also in 1896, the Yukon gold rush started. So up in the Yukon, gold was discovered. Are you discovering that you're true gold, that you're pure gold? Right? Now, the reason why all of this is so important, this is when the sun crosses the celestial equator from south to north. The numbers 1, 2, and 4 reduce down to the number 7. This is a time for introspection. Yes, it's the God number, but understand what it truly also represents. Numerologically, it represents a time of introspection, a time of spiritual ascension, a time of awakening. 124 years later, at the springtime, we're at a great awakening. We're at a fantastic rebirth. The reason a lot of this, now I'm not saying that people dying is good, but what I'm saying is for us, we need to take this time with the Rona running rampant everywhere and fear everywhere. Take this precious time to come in, regroup, be introspective, do your work. 1896 reduces down to the number of 6. The earth is pregnant. The number of 6 represents a pregnant woman, represents like Virgo. Balancing your relationships, doing the hard work, balancing your personal, your spiritual, and your professional relationships. Not taking anything for granted anymore. Putting in the work. Not being a doormat anymore. Putting in the work, crossing all your T's, dotting all your I's, making sure your foundation is strong as you come out of this with divine energy, knowledge, light, and wisdom. Emerging from the ashes as everything burns down around you. Emerging from the ashes as a phoenix. Not just from a cocoon as a butterfly. As a mighty phoenix, full of fire, full of power, full of wonder. Yes? Fire, power, wonder. Because our energy as light bearers, light can be life-giving and light can be destructive, right? If a beam of light is too focused on one thing, it becomes a laser beam and destroys and sears right through. You're going to have ability to see and sear, ability to erase, ability to regroup, ability to raise up, ability to ignite a fire in others. This time of introspection, this time of solitude, the Q word. Don't take this lightly. And don't take this for granted. This isn't a time for that. This is a time for us to come back within the womb so we can be born. This is a time for us to come back. This is part of our final Moses time of throwing our staff down and it turning into a snake and picking it up. This is our time for this. 7 is also the number of manifestation, yes? Godlike energy. What does God do? God speaks his words. Their words do not return unto them void. You speak, your words don't return unto you void. Don't be in fear of lack or any of this. This is your time to be manifesting all kinds of stuff. Child, look, if I was y'all, I'd be running around here nesting. Because we're pregnant with promise and purpose. Nest. Learn how to be a dual citizen. The question was asked, how do we do this in a practical way? While you're in your cocoon, while you're in amongst the ashes, getting your new transmutated body, because your spirit is alive. And your spirit is in tune and your spirit is awakened and you're like, oh my gosh, everything is brighter. Everything is more beautiful. I can hear, I can see, I can feel. I feel it everywhere. Yes? Y'all go back and watch the Dark Matrix. What happened when Neo really realized, oh, wait a minute, I can bend the code. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? You can bend the code. You can bend the code. There is no spoon. If you need guns, you get guns. If you need, I'm not saying that, but you know what I'm saying, right? You need things paid, vibrate at the frequency of money. You don't need to know where it comes from. You don't even know how it gets into your mailbox or into your bank account. You don't need to know that. All you need is that it's taken care of. Why are you worried? Because you're divine. You are made in the divine's image and likeness. The reason why you had to be in this body right now is so that you could relate into and have dominion in the third dimensional world. Spirit created and then gave dominion to those third dimensional beings that exist here. So that's why when an oppositional energy comes into your world, a shadow energy, whatever you want to call it, a demon, a devil, comes in, that's why you have you have the authority to bind it and send it away. You have the authority to loose, whatever shall be loosed on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Whatever is bound on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatever is bound in the third dimension is bound in the fifth and above. Whatever is loosed on the third dimension is loosed in the fifth and above. You want to bring money into your life? Speak it. Your words do not return unto you void, but they accomplish that which you intend. This is the new person, the new creation, the new being. There is so much removed, so much power removed from the Bible, but it's in other texts. Jesus speaks of us as divine gods in the book of Thomas. Go read it. My Christian folks, go read it. My recovering Christians, go read it. He speaks of the kingdom of heaven being within you and around you, without. You are the kingdom. You have the power. All power was given. Oh, Jesus. All power. All power. You are a third dimensional being. You are a spiritual being, have a human experience. Will you use your spiritual capabilities and change your human experience? Use your higher dimensional self to change your experience. Can karma be attached to what or who we manifest? Well, I'm not saying run around here and be manifesting stuff you ain't got no business manifesting. You have to trust your higher self, beings of light. We are light beings. We are light workers. We are light warriors. We're not children of the dark. Trust your higher self as it is in a relationship with the universe, with Creator, with Source, that what you are manifesting into the earth is good and true and of the light. I don't wish ill upon people. I could. I don't bring rain, fire, and brimstone on people. I could. Y'all might think I'm crazy, but I can. Now, if somebody wrongs me, I let my angels handle it. I let my angels and my ancestors handle it. I'm like, y'all do what y'all got to do. Because it also says, touch not mine anointed. So don't think we just out here just chilling and we ain't got no protection and we ain't got no rights. Because we do. So there's only karma attached to those things if you're doing it for a purpose that is not integral. That being said, when people would come to me asking about, is this person, what do they think about me, yada, yada, skippy, blase, blase, and then come to find out it's a whole ass married man or whole ass married woman to somebody else and not you. And it's a whole happy marriage or semi-happy marriage or whatever. Like nobody's trying to get out of the relationship. Ain't no papers been filed. Ain't nobody going to know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a functioning marriage. And you trying to manifest that other woman's husband or that other man's wife. Baby. That's some nastiness that I don't want that karma. Wishing that somebody else loses their job just because they looked at you wrong. Nah. However, you are well within your rights to simply say, I wish you what you deserve. And I have wished many a person what they deserve. I'm not digging another ditch for myself. Okay. Now I hope y'all understand that one right there. If I told you how many people came to me over the course of these last 2 years and wanted me to do some darn readings, let me stop because I'm on a whole nother thing. So there's not that we're not supposed to be coveting other people's stuff either. Get your own. Anyway, where was I? Birthing. We understand that we can manipulate the matrix. Everything is energy. We've had this discussion before. And I'm telling you again in hopes that someone will see this that perhaps hasn't heard it before and will understand that as you come forth, reborn, first fruits, firstborn, that we are coming out of this with a greater understanding. Remember I talked about Mercury and Neptune in Pisces. You know, they've called it throughout the years magic, call it manifestation. Some sections of the church call it name it and claim it. It's all the same thing. It is manipulating energy in the upper realm and bringing it into the third dimension. That's it. We have to be master manipulators of energy, both in the third dimension, and for some of us, we have to learn how to go to war in the heavens, when to dispatch, when to bring back, when we've got to wage that war to raise the vibration of the earth. The earth is groaning and waiting for us. She will not allow herself to be taken advantage of any longer and taken for granted. And all of creation groans and is waiting for us. This is our time. This is our rebirth. This is the message. We need to rebuild the structure and make it something that will last forever. So yes, let's talk about this as well. Choose your words wisely and be careful about the seeds you're planting. We're going to go into our meditation momentarily. I've been on for an hour. Okay. We're going to go into our meditation. We're not going to meditate long, but I need to leave you with these words. Choose your words wisely. Get control of your thoughts. Because as we move forward and you become higher ascended beings, your thought life is critical. What you think, as a man thinketh, so is he. What you think will begin to manifest for you. Be careful what your thought, because as your spirit becomes more powerful and drops the thought into your third dimension, your third dimensional mind, your mind has no choice but to create it. We must be careful of our thoughts, careful of our words, careful of the energy we are sending out and emoting. You have to mind your mind. That's correct. Okay. All right. Oh, hi, Pumpkin. Hi, baby. Gemini is telling me it's about time for me to get off this darn YouTubes. She's like, Ma, can we go now, please? It's almost 9 o'clock. You've been on here for forever. All right. Let's get into our meditation. Okay, guys. This is an ascension meditation. We're probably not going to meditate for much longer than about 15-20 minutes. Simply all we're doing right now in this meditation is we are going to allow ourselves and our higher being to transmit the information of who we are and what our purpose is. And we're going to allow our higher self to ascend. So we're going to go somewhere tonight. Okay, I want you to understand that. We're going to go somewhere tonight because I need to get you guys used to this. Okay? I'm going to bring it back out, but I need to get y'all used to it. She's just having a flux time. And this is in preparation for the rebirth process. So we're just going to open ourselves up to the new energy and prepare ourselves for the information that's going to further come. Now, the other thing we're going to regulate at this moment as well is we're going to regulate this ear ringing and the muscle twitching. So I'm going to begin to also help you activate that dormant junk, that dormant DNA, so that your cells can withstand it, because this is higher frequency energy. If you've noticed that sometimes your electronics don't properly work, that's because of that. That you're vibrating at a higher frequency. So let's get your cells used to handling that as well. All right. So now, is everybody ready to go into meditation? Is everybody ready to go? Y'all, and if y'all don't have a journal, y'all need to get yourselves a spiritual journal, babies. Is everybody ready for meditation? We're going to listen to the Ascension track. I feel like I need to put this meditation track out for y'all for download. Because it's for each, I've got each thing. I've got each chakra and then ascension and all sorts of stuff going on. So I need to put this out, figure out how I'm going to do that for download. All right. So I want you all to be in your, let's have your feet on the floor if possible, or if not, seated, cross-legged. I want your root chakra. You need to be grounded. I need y'all grounded, okay? So get into that position. What do you write for your spiritual journal? Baby, anything that comes to you. Like, I'll be studying and then all of a sudden I'll start getting downloads of just like what I wrote today. Like, I literally went and started studying like 1896 and started studying this and that. And then I was just like, oh my gosh. And I'm just writing. And then sometimes I get guided, messages that way. When I'm meditating, I get that. I get those messages and I write them down. So as you come into meditation or just during the day, get used to having a conversation, a spiritual conversation all day long. You have to get used to that small voice because then it becomes finally the ruling voice. So that's what I write down. And I'll write down my spiritual exploits in here. I've written down like the goals for the channel in here. Meanings of different moons. I wrote down notes from my Akashic record reading. I'm keeping it from us. No. Hey, Tiana. You came just in time, fam. We're about to meditate, okay, baby? All right, let me do this, guys. Here we go. All right, everybody, let's get in our positions to meditate. Let's restart this. Thanks, Tiana. Okay, how is that volume for you guys? How's the volume? Is the volume okay? Give me some hearts if the volume is okay. Okay, good. All right, guys. We're going to close our eyes. Put your hands either on your knees or they can be raised to the heavens on your knees, okay? We're going to take 3 deep breaths in. I want you to be sure while we're meditating and your eyes are closed, I want you to be sure to keep your chin up so that your third eye is above the horizon. Right? All right. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Become aware of the top of your head. Aware of your face. Aware of the back of your head. Aware of your neck. Aware of your shoulders. Aware of your arms. Aware of your chest. Aware of your abdomen. Aware of your hips. Aware of your thighs. Aware of your knees. Aware of your lower legs. Aware of your feet. Aware of the soles of your feet. Aware of your roots going down into the earth, anchoring your third dimensional being into the earth, allowing your energetic being to send energy to the earth. Sending healing energy to the earth. Assisting in raising her vibration. Being one with her. Feeling her calming, loving, life-giving energy. Starting at your root chakra now. I'm speaking to your root chakra, to your higher being. Kundalini life-giving, life-creating, personal transformation energy. Be activated in everyone under the sound of my voice right now. Rise up the spine. To the sacral chakra. Kundalini energy as we rise. Permeate each cell. energizing and activating. The higher self DNA, dormant DNA, turn on, rejuvenate and rebirth each cell. At this time of energetic rebirth and restart, ignite the self-energy, the self-esteem, the self-knowledge, the self-awareness in the sacral chakra right now. All the cells in the legs and the feet, in the thighs and the hips. DNA has been turned on. Energy rise to the solar plexus chakra. Ignite the solar plexus for higher learning, higher understanding. Raise the octave of the solar plexus right now. 1 full octave. Energy permeate the abdomen. Strengthen the lower back. Activate the DNA that has been lying dormant in each and every cell. Activate right now. Solar plexus. Higher frequency of light. The upper ranges of yellow almost to white. Burn. Charge. Run at that frequency. Activate that frequency right now. Energy rise to the heart chakra. Heart chakra come into alignment. Come into alignment in perfect proportion. Not too big, not too small, perfect proportion. With every exhale, blockages are moved. With every inhale, love and light come in. Heart chakra. Vibrate in the key of life. Sing in the key of love. In perfect harmony with Source. In perfect harmony with the creative frequency. Of divine creation. sound right now. Every cell from the shoulders down to the soles of your feet. DNA has been activated. Higher octave, higher energy light love, higher energy light wisdom, creative energy. You as the creator, you as the co-creator. Impulses go through each and every cell. Energy, Kundalini energy. That which we have been born with, and that which lasts for eternity. Rise up the spine to the throat chakra. Clearing. Attuning our voices to the frequency of creation, of healing. Attuning our voices to the signal to the universe. The Lightworker has arisen. The Starseed has remembered. The Indigo has sight. Every cell in the throat, in the voice box and the vocal cords. Energy go to every cell, activating dormant DNA. We speak with the voice of spirit. We speak with the voice of highest self. We speak with the voice in concert with Source. We speak with the voice in harmony with the divine. We speak with our divine speech, belief. That which we speak shall not return to us void, but shall accomplish that which we intend. Dormant DNA, activate now. Throat chakra resonate in harmony with the heavens, with the higher dimensions. Now. Energy rise to the third eye and to the crown chakra simultaneously. Our sight and our hearing are ignited and opened, set apart. We hear from our higher selves. We are in tune with Source. We think and see healing, prosperity, abundance. We heal the world. We hear and see through compassionate, loving eyes, through compassion and loving knowledge. We hear and see in nothing but light and love and power and joy and peace. We reattune our third dimensional mind and activate not only dormant DNA, but additional halls in our third dimensional mind. Additional programs, additional abilities. We amplify the electromagnetic waves, field, creative energy that comes from our mind. We amplify those waves now. The waves of creation and of vision. We accept our dual citizenship in the spirit realm and in the third dimension. We embrace our higher self. We come forth reborn, now awakened, now attuned. Remember who you are. Remember why you came. I thank you, angels and ancestors, and I thank you, guides, for guiding each and every beautiful divine spirit under the sound of my voice. I thank you for protecting them. I thank you for leading and guiding them. And I thank you for opening the curtain and removing the veil. We wish to know, we wish to see. We know who we are. We wish to understand our purpose. We wish to remember. We wish to embrace. We release all fear and all doubt. We welcome in power. We welcome in love. We welcome in wisdom. Source and Creator. Show us. Reveal to us. Your third dimensional mind will remember your purpose and your plan that is being revealed to you now when you awaken. A little higher. truly in control. Now you see from up here, all 7 chakras align. Any and all messages that come in will not come in painful. They'll come gentle. You will be able to interpret those messages and write them down. Or you will be able to ask and it will be revealed. Your cells get used to the energy of spirit, the energy of enlightenment. This is your new normal. Embrace it. Come back. It's time to come back. Come back, yet remain. Dual citizenship. Spirit led. Aware of your root chakra. Aware of your sacral chakra. Aware of your solar plexus chakra. Aware of your heart chakra. Aware of your throat chakra. Aware of your third eye. Aware of your crown. Reduce the aperture of your crown and leave the channel open. And 3 deep breaths. And we return. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Whew. Okay. All right, you guys coming back to me? Okay, gang. Oh, that was good. Ooh, that was good. I never get tired of that. Okay. I'm on a bit longer than I intended. I need to let you guys go so that you guys can have the rest of your evening. I need to actually do some laundry. Anybody want to come here to Wisconsin and y'all want to help me do some housework? I'll cook. Yes, your whole body will vibrate for just a little while, okay? If the body vibration starts to become more like too much, just kind of come within, close your eyes, 3 deep breaths, and just kind of envision the volume being turned down. Okay? Envision the volume being turned down. It is. Alright guys, I'm gonna let this upload. Thanks guys. I ain't got no takers to come help me clean, get my house in order, huh? Not name one of y'all. Not name one of y'all willing to come out here and help Miss Lisa get her house together. Y'all better come on before they shut down these darn state borders. Oh, Lord have mercy, help me. Anyway, I'm gonna let this upload, and then I'm probably gonna split this up. Fit Goddess, I might. I'm sure we do, Sharon. Fit Goddess, I might need to just ask you a quick question. Your foot and left leg fell asleep. I'm sorry, baby. I know y'all would. I'm giving y'all a hard time. All right, guys. It's been a wonderful equinox, a wonderful rebirth. We are going to be seeing this. I mean, this is going to... Y'all stick with me, okay? Stick with me. You're interested in coming? Yeah, honey, I can cook too, baby. I got a freezer full of food now, too. We're going to be all right. We got toilet paper and food, all right? You're welcome. Y'all stay with me. You know, please be sure to share these videos and share this channel. And I'm going to do my part, but yeah. We'll get together tomorrow night again, guys. I promise you. And if y'all know any other channels or anybody else that you are close to that maybe we could do some collaborations and stuff, let me know. I'm really interested in getting this out to other light workers and working with other light workers and teachers. Okay. All right, gang. We'll get together tomorrow night. All right, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. Namaste.